My friends, it's popping. Are we live, G's? Yes? Okay. Happening, my friends. Hope you guys are doing well. Welcome back to a new month, a new week. Episode number 37. Right now, episode number 37 of the live day trading stream here. Looking forward to see what will happen this week. Okay, we have a new month of trading ahead of us right now. Gold is pumping. I'm not going to hold you guys up here. I have a lot of things to discuss right now, but we have to get straight into the charts here. Let's push it up here. Let's push it up and let's get started. Welcome back, baby. Good to see you. We're going to delve straight into this right now. I'm in a long goldie. Okay. And then I'm going to short it potentially higher. A lot of things to cover. A lot of things to cover here. Let me see what they have in the chat as with us. Yes, sir. Okay, good to see you all. Welcome back, my friends. How are you guys doing? What is going on today? Let me see where we have with us in the chat today. Okay, let me quickly see what's popping in the chat before we move forward here. Let's see what's popping. Good to see you, Damien, my friend. Welcome back. Mariana, welcome back. Hardy, good to see you again, my friend. Jurk, how are you? Lots of love from South Africa. Nice, man. How are you doing, Jurk? Good to see you, man. Yeah. Had a nice and chill weekend. Freaking weekend, okay? A lot of things has happened, of course, during the weekend when it comes down to Trump, the man himself. You guys already know. All right, a lot of things has been happening right now here. I have been, had a good weekend, man. I had a good, nice weekend with you guys here. Chilling at the pool today, last weekend, just chilling. Beautiful view, enjoying the view. Okay, very nice. Making sure that we are all living life in easy mode right now. Not being so much worried about Iran, about Trumpy. Okay, we're just doing our thing right here, making sure that we're getting ready for this week. Ready to rock and roll, as always. Okay, I'm a little bit like a lobster. If you look at my face right now, so you understand where it's coming from. Huh? I'm like, how can I be connected to Trump as much as I can? Well, here we go. Okay. Anyways, let's get back to work here. We have a lot of things to cover. All right. A lot of things to cover. 100%. Look at that. We have a bunch of news this week here that we have to think about. One of them is the NFP at the end of the week. Yes, sir. We have the ADP non-farm payrolls. Just so you are aware of this. This is going to come on a Wednesday. Sorry, on a Friday, of course. On a Wednesday with the ADP non-farm employment. And then on a Tuesday, we have the job opening, new home sales PMI. We have a lot of things actually to really think about again in terms of that news here. Anyways, for Goldie, we are pushing up higher. That is a good start for me. But I'm going to do a deep dive into you guys here. I'm going to say why I'm actually looking to potentially, short it once again after this long right now, okay, which is considered to be a little bit higher. And I'll tell you that in a second, but we have to wait and see how price reacts at that level, the 4,600, okay? So a lot of things that we have to cover in order to potentially get there, but this was a long setup. This was a long trade. Dollar is pushing back, okay? If you guys can see this on the 15-minute, the dollar is rolling over. Matter of fact, if you look at the dollar right now, and we look quickly at the valuation of the dollar against what? The euro, right? Against the euro, specifically the euro. Let me see if we have it right there. Yes, we do have the euro. We were a bit tricky. We were a bit overvalued right now. We're pulling back down here. Gold is pushing up, which I like to see right now at the moment. okay? But what needs to happen here now, guys, is we really need to get out of this trade soon and see if we could potentially short it. That's what I'm actually looking for. But I'm patiently waiting for a reaction right there, okay? Let me know what you guys are seeing so far in the chat here on gold right now at the moment, okay? Let me quickly explain how I got to this trade, and then we'll move into what happens after this. But yeah, we had to take this trade before, roughly, because there was a nice clean opportunity right there. At the moment on gold, I think there is still a lot of resistance very, very soon though, okay? Don't forget that. This move that we see right here on gold was actually kind of a failed move, in my opinion. Or a failed news move, in my opinion here. I think they're trying to refill that inefficiency that was caused by the news by coming back to these highs of that news, okay? That is right now something I'm seeing, at least on gold here. But we have to be very aware and patient, seeing what happens when we tap into that previous daily, you know, very, very low level right around here, okay? John says, holding a buy. Thinking about closing, already a 2-to-1. All right, nice. That's good. That is good. That is good. PCP, let's go. Amazing. Yeah, man, good to see you all. We have a lot of things to cover this month. April and March were absolutely insane, or insanity, you could say. The question will be, will May be better? Will May be a month where we will be a little bit more bullish or bearish into one direction, but more clean? From that perspective, okay? We're gonna figure that out very, very soon. All right, guys, we're gonna see what will pop up right there around. Right now on gold right here, we have a couple things to think about right here, right? And that is the number one thing that we can see here on the higher time frame. If you go to gold on the daily, okay, this is the daily time frame on gold right here, okay? This is the regular gold chart right now. You can actually see that we're bouncing off of a daily demand zone right around here, okay? We tapped into the daily demand right around there. And you can actually see that we are reacting from this. On the future chart, it's actually very, very clear that we're reacting once again around that daily demand zone right here. You can see how we're reacting from it, okay? At this current moment, though, if you go to the 15-minute, then you can actually see that we are trading below yesterday's range. Okay, we took out yesterday's low. We actually are reacting from that higher time frame support, which is also a range, reacting from the very low. So we see an opportunity to long here in the short term, but we are still below the previous daily levels, okay? The very low. We have a low volume node sitting there, which is a lot of resistance right here, okay? Between 4,605 and 4,620, okay? We do have to deal with a lot of resistance from that level right around there, okay? So what I'm seeing right now in gold right now is that we are kind of in that higher time frame demand. We are forming that support. I thought it's a good time to buy here in the short term. But as long as we're not below or not above this high, specifically above the 20, I do not see that long continuation yet here. We really have to kind of see if we can break above that first before we can consider this to be more bullish. Right now, we could easily say, we could easily push up higher, take out the highs, push up, find resistance, and still die off slowly, right? Roll off back further towards the downside right now on gold. Okay, and this has to do with the dollar as well here, all right? The dollar as well is starting to gain a little bit more strength again, all right? I hope you guys can see this right now. We actually bounced from the daily demand zone on the dollar. We actually are reacting from this right here. On the 8 hour, we are not far away from closing this exact candle right now, right here. We also have a new area of demand on the dollar, right around there. So if the dollar taps into this and it finds its support on the higher time frame and it bounces again, gold is going to do the opposite. Gold is going to push up, right? It's going to try to push up and it's going to potentially sell off again, okay? So we're really careful with gold right now for the long continuations as long as we are below that 20 level. Okay, if you can break back above that, I'm a much more bull than bear on gold right now, okay? I hope that makes sense right around here. The dollar is still holding up quite well. We are breaking out right now. If we pull back and we retrace and we continue, yeah, then gold is going to struggle. Gold is going to have a really hard time to follow through here. That is just the fact, the reality of what we're currently seeing here. Oil is getting heavily rejected, but this also counts from oil, okay? Oil also has demand We bounced from it before. We created new demand right now. If we pull back into this right around here and we find that support, yeah, what gold gonna do? Gold is gonna struggle, right? And that is kind of the overall idea here at this current moment right there, okay? That is that from a perspective. Now, if you go to gold back to the lower time frame here, we look at the 15-minute, okay? Right around here, you can actually see that we have the previous day right here. We have an indicator we use, the limitless LTA concept session breaks. You can actually put it right here. You can also do something different. You can also do it this way. Let me actually show you what I mean, okay? You can also use these session breaks right here. You go to contract. You go to the right settings. You click on settings. You click on events. You turn on the session breaks. And then you have each trading day. At the open and the close. And you can exactly see where the most volume was traded or how the volume was distributed yesterday kind of as well here. Okay? I hope that makes sense right there. But yeah, you have an indicator for that if you want to use this. If you want to learn about the volume profile and how we mark out our levels and why we use the levels the way we use the levels, they can also download my book for free, right? The LTA Concepts Trading War Map right here. The LTA Concepts Trading War Map, it's a book I created for you. You can download it by going to ltaconcepts.io, not AI, IO. You fill in your email, and you can download your free book. And this exactly explains how we draw the levels, the way we draw the levels, and why we draw the levels, the way we draw the levels. Okay? Well, that makes sense, my friends. So yeah, let's see what happens right now. I'm not considered really bullish yet on gold. I'm just looking for a potential bounce and see if it can hold here and react here and follow through here. And if not, we just have to sit it out and reevaluate and see where we can go from there. Hopefully we pull back up so we can find nice shorts from there at this current moment at least. I really hope to see this happening here. Because if that's the case, then we have some really clean levels to work with, right? Some really clean shorts to work with, etc., 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 etc. Yeah, let's see, guys. Let's see. Jelly says, I saw you there, or someone is using your video on TikTok and doing a live stream. Where? On TikTok? Lorenzo, are you also streaming on TikTok during Asia's session? No, I'm not streaming on TikTok during Asia's session, no. No. So I have no idea where that's coming from. Okay. What about the playlist? Here's the playlist, my G. Right there. Here is the playlist. Enjoy. If it's coming. It should be coming right now. There we go. Enjoy. Enjoy, enjoy, enjoy. So yeah, what are we looking for? I'm pretty much looking for a push into a low volume note of yesterday. This area right here. An inefficiency. Can we trade into this? The value area low. Can we get rejected or find resistance? If the dollar is at support and it just holds up quite well. I don't see gold breaking out yet. Okay. I think that gold could just come down and maybe come back down again and try to test the lows again. That's what I hope to see. If gold comes down and we find support, I still want to get there down at some point, right? I still want to see if we can get there at some point. Yeah. That's the idea. Okay. Okay, can we hold this? Can we respect this and push up higher? Let's see. Let's see. We tapped into the VWAP though, so we have to be a bit aware. That's why I put my stops on break even. The moment we reach the VWAP, okay? The moment we reach the VWAP, we're kind of holding up. We close this 15-minute candle, 30-minute candle too. The 30-minute looks okay. Right, the 30-minute looks decent, I could say right now. 30-minute looks decent. I mean, it doesn't look that bad if you look at it. We have that closure above. We have that zone right there. So yeah, let's see if we can hold up a little bit longer. Let's see. Let's see. Can we push up into the zone? Yeah, we still have another zone here. We just closed this candle above it. So sellers are still getting trapped here. All right, there's still some selling at the bottom of this candle. We closed above that, so we still have that local support right now in my opinion. So I'm still willing to hold on a little bit longer. All right. Guys, if you like this channel, if you like this overall content on a daily basis here, I'm going live for you guys on a, literally daily basis from a Monday to a Friday, okay? From Monday to Friday. We're here for you guys to see what we can do, to study. So if you guys like this, we're here together, man, to just, help your brother out, help each other out, to do whatever we need to do, to stay in touch, to communicate, talk about goldy gold. And if you like that, then smash up that like button. I would highly appreciate that, okay? I would highly appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Come on. Where's that follow through, boy? Give us some follow through. Pretty strong rejection overall there, right? No follow through here. The hourly is going to determine a lot. I mean, we still have some support at the 57s, which is at the point of control. So we can always look for a re-entry. A little bit lower in case we pull back. But I do want to get there at some point. The previous daily very low. If we can get there, it would be great. But longs are definitely not fully in control here yet. I mean, in total. On the bigger picture, sellers are still holding up quite well. Yeah. Yeah. So what happened? We had that major news coming out again around Iran, right? All that uncertainty. Everything looked very, very good in the throughout the weekend, let's say, right? On a Friday. And then in the weekend, of course, everything got disrupted again. It was not really sure. And then today, the news came out, of course, again, worse. So it's that constant up and down, that push and pull over and over again. So yeah, that's kind of what we are seeing right now in gold as well here. So we're trying to get into some pullbacks, but the largest sentiment is still bearish right now. Even though we're in higher time frame of the month, that we cannot neglect, we are still seeing waiting for price to react from any resistance that is formed potentially there. And then look at the short and hopefully. And if you can't get there, we have to kind of reevaluate, okay? From there, at least. Let's see. But this is that news, major news that came out right here. Clearly, this is purely a news scandal, right? The major sell-off. Now we're kind of retracing from that. So yeah. The real juice, I think, will come either when we feel that inefficiency here or when we pull back into the point of control. Okay. What level do we talk about right now? I have two zones marked out. 2 times the volume profile marked. I have the range, which is this range right here, is that consolidation, right? Expansion retracement. So there's a range that we have to mark out. And we're trading, of course, below the previous daily range as well here. Okay? And we have a low volume node there and the previous daily very low. So this is, for me, an area of interest too that we cannot neglect. So we're kind of in between two zones. An area of interest for potential buyers and an area of interest for potential sellers right there. And if we break out of one of those, okay, we break below that fair value of that range or above or within the fair value, I could better say, of the previous daily range, then we have some continuation plays possible. Right now, it is about pullbacks or it's about, the continuation of that pretty much right around there. Okay. So let's see. Let's see, boys. Kathleen, welcome to the channel. Hope you're doing well. Hope you are doing good. And Anusha, welcome. Hope you're doing good. Welcome to see you. Good to see you. Bank holiday in London, yes, but we just opened the New York session here. Anyways, man, had a pretty sick weekend, pretty chill weekend, actually. Did a lot of work, as always working. Pretty much I'm always working. If not working on the charts, preparing something. Preparing something for the group that we're working into right now. A lot of things that we're doing, a lot of work that we need to do. But it's amazing to see them grow and to see them learn. And to put in the work with them. It's really awesome to see that. Yeah, we're very close already to that break-even point, by the way. So yeah, if there's no follow-through, there's no follow-through. And we'll reevaluate at other levels, maybe. The 57, the point of control, for example, I will try again in case we get there. We are a bit overvalued too, right? So there's not a certainty that we actually hold on to this trade right now, but look for another entry later. SKNLV says, I started to read your book. It is great. Thank you for sharing it for free with us. Amazing to hear that. Yeah, mate, I love people put in the work to read the book, right? It's really, really amazing to hear that because we it took around a year. It's not something that you just, release. Oh, I'm just going to release a book. So yeah, that's amazing to hear, man, that you are interested in reading it. It's really good. All right, we're still holding it. We're still holding that zone. You see that? Sellers are trapped there. We're putting into that zone and we're still holding it. New sellers are entering and they're currently at least having a hard time right now. So good that we were able to hold on to the trade. Is the book paid for? No, the book is free. The book is completely free, right? The group itself, yes, that's paid for because we have around, I'm onboarding like 15 people and I take them for 6 weeks and then they stay in the group, etc. But yeah, that's an amazing thing we're building here, okay? So many examples in there. Things that we work on every day. We work on so many different layers. Trade examples as well right there, while we go from trades to execution, you name it, right? A lot of different examples there. Loads of different charts right there. You name it, a whole library of things, everything. And of course, the multiple sessions a week for 6 weeks. So yeah, this is what we did, right? What we said we were going to do. We're in it right now with the 15 people and I'm really looking forward to their results very, very soon. And I will share them with you as well, of course. So you don't get it from me. You also can see from the group, yo, it's actually working, they're killing it, right? They're applying the exact system that we have been talking about right there, right? Which is the gold hybrid trading system that we're trading right now. Even in the worst market conditions, we're still profitable. Wait until the market actually starts pushing, until the news actually gets settled, or that no one cares anymore about it anymore. That everyone's like, yeah, right, up and down, who cares? We're just gonna follow up and trade. Yeah, crazy. Yeah, we pretty much came back to our entry and we're reacting again. That's good. I really want to see this follow through right now. Okay. On the 30-minute, like I say right now, we're kind of looking a bit better, right? It's actually the retest and now the 30-minute bullish flip here. So yeah, hopefully we push this to that level that we talked about, correct? And then I'm thinking about maybe reversing the whole thing and actually selling it. So yeah, let's see what happens after that, right? Let's see what happens after that, if we get there. But it's good that we're pushing right now and that all these sellers that are getting trapped are right now, again, getting trapped in the next candle or in this candle, the 15-minute time frame. We're still seeing the same thing happening. Sellers trying to enter here and then Buyers take control. But now we need to break out. If you don't break out, we're going to stay around. We're going to potentially see the range, etc., 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 etc. Okay? Yeah. Cindy says, I hope it goes back to normal. I'm tired of heart attacks. You got it, Cindy. We're on the same page. We feel what you feel every day. But we'll survive. We'll survive. We'll survive. We'll get there. We just have to work on our craft. This is actually the best moment in time to work on your skills. Specifically, how do you manage your trades in these situations? You become very adaptable, right? You learn a lot of good things from actual moments like these. But at some point, it is enough, right? We agree. At some point, it's enough. At some point, it is enough. That's true. What is the best session to trade the Nasdaq for you? I think it's usually the New York session. Still. Especially now. Especially right now. In terms of gold, I mean, the Asian session has been pretty solid overall. Where are you actually from in Italy? Well, my father is actually from Italy, not me. I'm kind of from Italy, I'm half from Italy. But I didn't grow up there. Can we break? Can we push? That's the question here. We're squeezing up with the valuation, so that's not really a good sign. The dollar is also pushing down kind of hard in the valuation as well here, as you guys can see. You don't really want that. You want it to slowly come up with the price and not harder than price. Dollar is already formulating some support now. All right. Chandra, I've been watching your stream since 2024. And since I'm sticking to the volume profile, you made me a better trader. I've taken a payout from Top Step. My FundedNext futures just because of you. Thank you so much. That's amazing. Congratulations. Yeah, it's awesome to hear that. And yeah, the volume profile really sets the X-ray vision. Makes you see levels differently. Right? The low volume nodes, the high volume nodes, the very lows, the point of controls. Are we trading within fair value, right? Are we trading outside of the fair value? And how do you trade that? That is the question that we're trying to answer every day. Trading within the fair value, outside of the fair value. What happens when you come back into fair value? And how do you deal with low volume nodes, high volume nodes? And of course, our levels, our specific levels in the market, right? That's a good example. Yeah. Yes, sir. Absolutely. Yo, Sanjay Mani, welcome to the channel. Where are you from, my friend? Call Bash, you too, my bro. Welcome. Yeah, we have the month of May right now, guys, so we need to step up our game. We survived the month of March and April. Green, so we have to follow through here. Even though the last week I had was not an easy week to trade. Let's see if this week will be a bit better. But of course, last week we had news, we had the FOMC. We had so much news. We had a bank holiday as well in between. We had the end of the month, the monthly candle closure, you name it. All these things came together last week. So it's pretty common. Rajan says, do you know, and one stupid thing, in India, forex trading is not legal. I heard about that. I heard about that. But you can trade the Indian stock market. What's it called again? Forgot about it. Wait, how can I forget that? That's really bad from my side. That is really bad from my side. The Nifty. Okay, the Nifty, of course. Yeah. True. I heard that too. Not really follow through, right, guys? Not really the follow through here that we're looking for right now. But let's see how we react. If we can steadily grind up, I'm happy. I'm fine with that. If you can steadily just do this, do whatever you need to do. Do whatever you need to do, whatever the case may be here. Can we steadily move up the rankings? Or do we have to pull back down, find a new entry again, lower? Let's see. Peter says, just download the free ebook. Thank you very much. Big love from Australia. Amazing, my friend. Yes. The hard copy is coming, by the way, guys. The hard copy is absolutely coming now. Okay? We're going to put some work and effort into this. This will cost you money if you want it. But then you have a real book. Okay? You have everything in a nutshell here. Everything that you need to know pretty much. If you want to learn about the market, some real ass market examples as well. 300 pages full of information. Then you can also buy it, but you can also download the free book online digitally, and you don't have to pay for it. It's up to you to decide what you prefer, what you want. But if you want something like this, yeah, then you have to wait a little bit because it's coming. My intention is not to make a lot of money from it. Maybe just enough to cover whatever we need to cover for, yeah, the basics, right? The handling of it. But it's not meant to be profit, to be, you know, it's just meant to distribute as much as possible. That's it. To give it as many people as possible. You can also just download the ebook and go to a local printer. A guy that can print it for you and do it this way. Whatever you prefer. Yeah. But it's not a 3-pager, okay? It's not a book that you just oh, that's just another book with a promotion in it. No. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Okay? All right, that hourly close is going to come very, very soon. We really want to close above the, yeah, clearly 75. 75 will be good. In like 10 minutes or something. But, now we're struggling here a little bit. We are struggling a little bit around this level. Okay? So we're a little bit overvalued as well, so. But okay, the dollar is not showing any signs of strength yet. Same as oil, doesn't show any signs of real strength yet right now. So that's good. What are we looking for the action charts? With the action charts, we're only looking to see how sellers and buyers are getting trapped, how to interact with each other. So let's say, right? Let's say this. I have a higher time frame demand zone here. So I know, hey, we are back at that higher time frame demand. On the 15-minute time frame, we then mark out the volume profile ranges to be more precise. This can help us with our buys right now in the short term because we are in higher time frame support, right? So our buys in the short term now from here is long because we are clearly pushing with the fake news move here aggressively into higher time frame support. Usually what happens when it happens, we feel at least that inefficiency. okay? Even if price will come down, we feel that inefficiency. That's what I'm trying to target now. I'm trying to enter above the point of control to feel that inefficiency to then potentially look for the reversal, okay? Now, if you look at yesterday's range, that's actually there. This is the low and this is the high. You can use the session breaks. It's on the indicator list. You find it if you type in session breaks or LTA concepts. You get all the days, the Monday, the Tuesday, the Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. This is the low and this is the high of yesterday, which is Friday, the last trading day. And we broke out of its fair value of that today, around the London session, before the London Open, okay? So if we pull back, we will find resistance at the previous daily value area low, okay? This is where we saw also a gap, an imbalance, an actual inefficiency as well in the market, which could be acting as resistance too. So I think this is where the major resistance today will be. If we can trade there, then this is where the large resistance will be. If there is no follow through and gold is just not able to break above it and it's struggling and it doesn't really want to break out, right? With a lot of volume, then this could be a short for the push down again. Okay, I hope that makes sense. If we break above it and we pull back into this inefficiency and inside the value area right here, okay, then we find support. We could trade it towards the value area high or the point of control, right? We have a little bit more room to see if we can trade higher, right? And at least look for the continuation. But for now, it's just a short-term bounce from higher time frame support, aligned with some more precision levels, and then looking for the continuation here, okay? And see if we could get a rejection there. Now, within that spectrum, right? When we are at an area here, okay, for example, we see this volume of this range right there, to be more precise. We have an area where there is more volume traded, a lot more volume traded, and it's actually the point of control, but also right around the point of control, a series of high value or high volume nodes, okay? We call that the HVNs, the high volume nodes right there. And if we would mark that out right here, the high volume nodes, and we would mark out a box, then guess what happened? Once we broke above that, we turned that into what? Into support, okay? That's where I go to the footprint chart. And that's where I see, okay, a lot of people trying to sell it, but failing. A lot of people are trying to sell that, but they're failing. What happens? We close back above that and we turn that into support. So that is a long entry from there with a clear target in mind, which is that inefficiency above that fake news move. Because this is a news candle right around here, okay? We're trying to fill that inefficiency pretty much. Okay, I hope that makes sense. That is the high volume node. So the volume footprint actually is just for the confirmation of the trade to see if sellers are getting stuck. And the more sellers are getting stuck, the higher the conviction for longs. That's in a nutshell what we're looking for, okay? That's pretty much the analysis of today as well. So I hope that makes sense and I hope that aligns. If we are starting to struggle here, right, and we just are unable to follow through like we're kind of doing now, I am tempted just to close it, to look for a new entry, because I think that the overall larger picture shows that sellers are still in control right now at the moment. You know what I mean? I still see that being the majority. I think it's just more or less a push or pullback from an inefficiency or something that's taking place right there. All right? So let's see if we can hold up, and if not, then it is what it is. And I have to close the trade in like a small profit and see where we can go from there. Yeah. What is the name of the footprint? This is the XO charts. The XO charts. Yes, sir. 4 minutes for the hourly closure as well. This is an example where in the previous hourly candle, a lot of sellers got stuck there. Okay, now we're trading above that. If you can close a candle above that, then this could act as support as well. So I would still be willing to look for longs again, okay? Depending on where we close. But we're really struggling here. We're really struggling here, and we're still overvalued. The trend itself is just holding up the way it should be holding up, right? The dollar is still not really showing a lot of signs of strength. Oil, same. So yeah. Yeah, we're really trying to optimize the exit charts all the time, but no, it's pretty clear what we're looking for every time here. This was that fake news move, all right, or that news that came out. A lot of sellers came in, and then a lot of sellers started to short the bottom here. They're all stuck in their trade now. You see these big red bubbles? Aggressive selling at the bottom there. Aggressive selling at the bottom. And then a bullish candle flip with a lot of volume. That is more bullish. And this is why I knew we're going to look for the pullback now. We are going to look for the pullback. But around here, we have a little bit of issues right now. We're really, you can see that this is where that initiation of that news move came from. So I guess, and I understand why it's a bit of a strong level right now. But as long as the dollar is weak and oil is just struggling, there's not really a reason to close the trade, right? There is not yet a reason to close the trade. You just have to be patient. If I see them holding support and we flip bullish or something happens, or we really cannot break above this, or we start to close below these areas here at the 82, for example. Yeah, I might exit and look for a new trade later on, because I'm much more convinced or committed to sells actually, to hold on a bit longer until we're kind of invalidated and buyers are really in control here. All right, what's happening? Okay, this is what I meant with the oil and the dollar right now. Pushing back. We're definitely not able to break above this right here. There's a lot more volume coming in. So I'm not sure if we will be able to follow through on this. Or we have to find trade lower. No, I don't think so. This is the level that needs to hold, because the stop loss is right below that. So we really want to hold this. Is there news coming out again, guys? Because I feel there's some news coming. No news? All right, we're back. All right, unfortunately. A lot of volume came in out of nowhere. Was worth a try. hourly closure as well, right? Roughly speaking. So we have the hourly candle setting in right now at the moment. Look at oil spiking though. There's something happening on oil. Look at that. This is why gold came down here. Oil starts spiking right now at the moment. I don't see anything in terms of news though. Just a spike from oil. Okay, but look at oil. Look at that major spike. Maybe I'm late. Maybe something is coming. Yes, there is news here. Okay, there we go. We were waiting for this, guys. Now I get why. We saw that reaction here. There we go. Look at the immediate reaction from oil. UAE issues potential missile threat alert. All right, that was the news that came out here. That was the news that came out here. That's how we saw that spike in oil. This is why gold pulled back here a little bit. All right, we're back at our next zone again. Let's see if this can slow down a little bit here. The hourly candle right now closed actually quite well. So there's nothing wrong with the hourly. The 15-minute is where we're going to stay at today. Because we have two levels. We have the 70 again. Or the 50, you could say the 55. Which is pretty much at the value of the point of control, right? The point of control of this range. It's pretty much there. With some nice and clean price action, we would have had some really good continuation potential without any news in between. I think we could have easily get towards that. We could trade towards that very clearly. UAE potential missile threat alert. Indeed, it's potential. We don't know for sure. We don't know for sure. Lorenzo, when is the next batch for the trading lesson starting? I think roughly speaking at the end of this month. At the end of this month. So yeah, only do this once every 6 weeks. So it's not really with a small group of people. The first group was filled very, very quickly. The first group. But we'll inform you when we release a second group. But no, it's not for a while. Not for a while. So yeah, my suggestion is to just come with me to the live streams right now. Just stick here on the streams. Or read the book, learn about the book, right? And just, we're doing the best we can every day right now. We're doing the best we can every single day at the moment. Even when in the craziest news-related market conditions, we are still here trading. I think that's the best way to showcase something in the worst possible conditions. Then it can only get better from there. But yeah. The only news that we had to worry about beforehand was the NFP, the FOMC, the CPI. And the PC price index. That's it. That was before. That was before. That was before. Anyways. The strategy or the overall strategy though today, guys, is still the same. It's still pretty clear to us, right? We have our area of interest here for a bounce. We have the previous daily very low, which is in my opinion the most important level for today, if we can get there though. right? Because that inefficiency right there from yesterday, trying to find its fair value again. If we can pull back into this, we could trade towards the highs. The point of control, we could trade towards the previous daily highs even. But if we trade below that and we can't break above this and we're struggling here and you see the rejection taking place around here, I'm definitely willing to short it. Because of the higher time frame on the dollar, right? That's the big reason why. The higher time frame on the dollar. Dollar closes hourly candle right now. We have higher time frame the month on the dollar sitting right here, okay? 4 hour the month right here. 8 hour the month right there, okay? We have higher time frame the month here. The dollar taps into this and gold pushes higher. And the dollar finds support and it goes up, then gold will struggle. And that means that we'll most likely not be able to break yesterday's range high. Okay, we'll most likely find that resistance again. It's unfortunate that I got stopped out on break even here, to be honest, with a news flash, because this could still push higher. It still could definitely push higher. Surium says, watching the live streams are incredibly helpful in the private sessions. It make it easier for you to learn when you get the chance to join. Yeah, that's why you're with us in the group, my friend Surium. It's amazing to have you in our group, bro. Incredible. Incredible. Yeah, it was just a little wick tapping into our zone here. Maybe should have put our stops at 62. But again, this is the news. News comes out, it disrupts the market, and then it resumes again. And then, yeah, we're back to the beginning, back to where it came from. Yeah, there we go. And the thing is, you kind of have to manage your trade very tight in these market conditions, especially when you are counter trend trading right now, right? The trend is pretty bearish and we're looking for longs. So you have to manage it and trade it relatively speaking, relatively tight. And any news could disrupt everything. You saw what happened in the previous news here. We saw a huge flush. You don't want to be in a long, and then a huge flush comes in and you go straight down. You have to manage it. You have to manage it tight here. You have to. UAE issues potential missile threat was the initial move, and now back to normal. It was a potential threat, not an actual threat. It was a potential threat. I don't know what that means. Potential. Because they issue a potential missile threat alert. I don't know what that means. Maybe I'm just bad in English, but like, I don't think that makes any sense, actually. Yeah, there we go. Straight to that zone. Well, then I'm just, it's time for part 2. That's it. We have some other news as well, by the way. Some extra news that came out, I think. Oh, there we go, yes. After that came this. The US Treasury Secretary Bezant on Iran. The US is opening up straight. Opa! There we go, my friends. Keep you guys updated. There we go. Financial Juice is where you can find it, by the way, that news. You need to subscribe to that. Yeah. All right, well, sellers are trapped. We're at the VWAP. We're struggling around this level hard though, but clearly every time when we are pulling back, we're holding up. So the trend, the trend continues for now. And this is what we're talking about right here. We're still holding above this level, right? We closed above it. And yeah, sellers were still in control. Or buyers were still in control here right now in the short term. But we are not that far away. We're not that far away from the previous daily very low. So can we do something like this? Can we still push there, or are we going to go straight for the previous daily very low? Can we try to find support here and then bounce, get to the previous daily very low? Or can we get to the previous daily very low, struggle, tap into maybe that area and then reject, and then actually try to push down and continue to trade down? Yeah, that is the question. But we're still clearly struggling here. Yeah, I definitely consider the major resistance up there. So I hope we can make a decision soon. Trade Talks Bahari, if I ask how much Excel charts helps in improving your trading entry, it makes a lot of difference in your journey. Yes, it does. From a management standpoint, I guess, also from... It builds your confidence because you really know what's happening behind the candles. You really know. That's true. Okay, Dean, my friend, welcome to the channel. For now, where is the dollar? Where is the dollar? The dollar is pulling back a little bit. And oil is flipping as well again. So that latest news maybe pushed oil down a little bit again. You can find this on Financial Juice. That's what it's called. Financial Juice. Yes. Yeah, so my interest is still clearly at the 55, I would say. I think that's a huge level, 55s. And then this higher time frame level right here. So either there, we look for the bounce. I would not be surprised to just take out the lows, manipulate, and just come back up again. Okay, check Bitcoin. Yeah, what's Bitcoin doing? Bitcoin has been doing well. A little bit better. It's at resistance though, higher time frame resistance, major resistance. Okay, but yeah, the 80K, it broke the 80,000 today. So it made at that first jump all the way up to 81,000, which is very good for Bitcoin. Bitcoin is doing better. It's performing relatively well. It's very interesting to think about. Absolutely. All right, baby, let's come down then. It's clearly struggling at the 15. It's really, really struggling here. We're also creating what we call a bit of a bearish divergence right now here. We're actually pushing down here, higher highs on price. So it's definitely struggling. And we've seen this already happening now multiple times in a row where we just cannot seem to break the 90s at the moment. But my area of interest is sitting either up there or we get down again. Because oil is just slowly selling off right now. The dollar as well is just holding up a little bit better. Okay, the dollar is trying to do its best to hold up here. Kind of held actually very well. This is why gold is struggling here as well here. So yeah, gold is having a hard time because the dollar right now holding up. I still would love to see gold pushing up, get a little bit higher, at least take out the news highs. But overall, I think we're just struggling at the 90s a lot. Can we trade towards that? I mean, let's also mark out a little bit of a swing right now from high to low. It's not the cleanest though. But this is why we're getting rejected here. Neelam, I have to go to the gym, still staying in my trade, stop loss set to minimum risk. Okay, are you in a long or in a short? All right, okay, yeah. Pretty much same as I was right before. Clearly just struggling right now. Right place to buy. If I could have stayed in the trade, I would have just hold on to my trade right now and see if it could go. But because the news came out and I got back to my entry. Yeah, so either I want to see price coming down lower at the moment, or we actually go for that inefficiency on the above the news candle right here on the 30-minute. It's a bit more clear. That we could potentially trade into this area from yesterday and then sell off. That's the ideal. Right, but this is like a major news event into higher time frame demand. We find support. We are undervalued here. Buyers are willing to protect that level. A lot of trapped sellers there at the bottom here. Look at all that selling there. Look at all these red bubbles. That's, you know, when a lot of sellers got trapped, and now we're pushing up, creating higher highs, higher lows. A lot of people trying to short here again, they got stuck. Now we're back at it again. So still possible, but The New York Open is very, very soon. The New York Stock Exchange Open is very soon as well. So I'm going to mark out scenarios like these, like either like something like this and we sell off, right? It's something I would love to see if we can get there. It could be that we tap into it here and we sell off already, but we'll find support very soon again. So it will be a really quick scalp if that's the case, right? Because we will have that support sitting down there at the 60s, I think. Yeah, right here. This is where all that selling took place, where buyers stepped in with a lot of volume here. A lot of contracts were traded, roughly speaking. A lot of high volume here at the bottom. So you could see a reaction. You could expect a reaction from the 55s for sure. So there's not a lot of room here. So let's see. Is something like this. Then like this. Deeper into that supply or demand zone. If we break below the very low right there and we pull back and we struggle here, we're most likely going to dive deeper into that demand zone and just going to sell off, right? Right around there. If you break below the value area of this range, then most likely that's what we're going to see. If we now hold that zone, then that is a nice target to look at still. Try again lower and target the highs. And then the question is, what will happen here? Okay, what will happen here? If we can break back above this and we tap into yesterday's range, great. We can go and target the daily highs, the previous daily highs. We can go for the point of control. We can set our TP there, or we stop loss and break even, or we manage our trade or take profit. But if that doesn't happen and we just see something like this, yeah, then it's probably just going to be a short again and then trying to get lower. So yeah, in the short term, if we can get down, I'm still thinking about buying in the short term, even though we're relatively bearish. Hi Lorenzo, not liking this price action. Market seems confused. Do you think the long buys, as we discussed on Friday, is gone at this stage, given the earlier news? Yeah, so Friday was great. The confirmations were there, but then obviously the weekend news came out where it was all, again, same thing, right? Invalidated. We said it also Friday. We said, yo, don't take it for granted until it's Monday. Okay? Don't take it for granted and say this is gonna happen until it's actually Monday and the news comes out on a Monday. And you see what happens right now, right? But again, if this is true what they're saying about the straight now opening and stuff, then yeah, that would be fantastic. But I don't see really the market reacting to that. So I think it's definitely not a certainty that this is the case. It's just a bunch of, yeah, vague conspiracy right now. Right? We'll see. At least for now, we need to wait for the UAE to see if this is real. Then we know if this is also real. We see another layer. We get another layer. Potential update soon. And let's see. Yeah, we'll make sure that every time when we see something, you guys get updated right away. The UAE situation is currently safe after a potential threat alert. Okay. Well, good to hear that. Good to hear that. Overall, though, I must say that the chart itself is by definition not really looking that unclear to me right now. If you look at the chart right now at the moment, yes, we're in a range, right? We're in an overall like larger, you know, accumulation or distribution range right now, right at higher time frame support. If we then dissect that range, it looks pretty clear that we are respecting the value area of this range right here at the moment. But we're trading below the previous trading day right here. So as long as we are above the lows here and we don't close below the previous weekly lows, then there's nothing really to worry about from that perspective. Then gold could easily hold up. But it could also be that internally speaking, in the range itself, okay, the previous day will hold as resistance right there. Sorry, this is the previous trading day, right? And it will simply come and gets rejected from the value area and it sells off again, right? And we just do something like this, for example. So I would say I'm looking for buys here, I'm looking for sells here until that's actually the easy part, until there is a conclusion. So I'm gonna mark out the volume profile of yesterday right here, okay? I'm gonna mark out the area where there's low volume traded in that, so low volume node. That's right here. It's usually the area of resistance, okay? We call it a low volume node right there. So we put this right there, low volume node, okay? Then we have that range at the bottom, because that was the first range that we created before when we tapped into demand. So we use this. Now we tapped into the very low of that perfectly, right? Look at that, the very low. We actually respected the value area of that. We respected it. We actually got into that and we reacted from it, okay? Now we're failing to break above this level right now at the moment, but if we manage to push up, two things can happen. This is that resistance and this is that support right now, okay? That's it. So what needs to happen in my opinion right now is we need to either trade the range, so we trade longs, we look for the reaction, right? We're gonna do something like this, for real. We stay within these two zones, or we actually leave one of those areas, right? And we break below and we retest it and we just find resistance and we sell off. Could easily happen, right? Or we actually do manage to break out somehow, miraculously. We pull back and we turn the value area low of yesterday, the previous daily value area low, into support. And we target the previous daily area high, the point of control, and the value area high. This is the value area right there. So we could then trade it back up again. And if you break the range, we leave the larger range right here. And we get back to a much larger potential breakout. But for now, it's very simple for me. It's just looking for buys here. See if I can get any confirmation of trapped sellers right there. Any buyers stepping in. I'm looking for sells here until we have a breakout or a conclusion. It's pretty straightforward, to be honest, until that moment, at least. So yeah, I think it's just patience is now required to just give us these extremes, right? The scenarios of like, where can we look for entries? So 1, 2, 3, 4, right? But if you push down right now, then this is of course something I'll be looking at, what I'm interested in. So yeah. How to join your community? My community is closed. I'll open this only once a month to a limited amount of people. once a month, a limited amount of people can join it. And when I say limited, a handful, literally a handful. Because I realized that it's a really good way to build a community is to show people the process for an X amount of weeks and execute with them together. And then in real time, so live together. And then once the 6 weeks are over, they're all on the same page. Then I can onboard a new group, do the same thing. And then I will eventually connect group A with group B, group C, group D, etc., etc., etc. And then everyone is on the same page and everyone knows exactly what they're studying, what they're looking at, and everyone can connect with each other after that. Very limited. So, yeah, that's the best way, in my opinion. The best way, the best possible way. Slow and steady. Slow and steady. Yeah. Overall, guys, I have a lot of respect for you being here on the streams and putting in the work every day and trying to do your absolute best to trade under these conditions as well. It shows your real commitment. And I think if there's one thing that you've learned, probably, is that management is everything. Trade management is absolutely king. Okay? Stop loss at places where you know that's where the stop loss has to be. Not trying to hold on to your losing trades. It's a death sentence in these markets right now. Holding on to your losing positions is an absolute, it's horrendous. Or I really stay away from this during times like these. Okay? You should stay away from it in general, but especially in times like this. Okay? You could easily just flip, like you see right now, right? Yeah, definitely, it's totally possible. All right, how many pips is that? Yeah, that's what I mean. In 1 minute, in 1 minute. So yeah, areas of interest. You guys are probably updated and you know what we're looking for and why. It's also the first real week of the month, right? The first real week. So the first weekly candle, right? Of May. So also take that in consideration. It's the Monday, the first weekly candle of May. So it's in development right now. It's always fun to watch the weekly candle getting developed right now. You see it. We are bearish. There's also another indicator that I created for you guys. If you guys are interested in it, I have a lot of indicators created, and they all represent a way to help you out if you want to, if you need it. But this is called the higher time frame candles multi-overlay. And what you can in essence do is you can select it on and off and you can go to your settings of it. And I can say, you know what? I want to have the weekly candle on my chart as well. So I'm on the 30 minute here, on the 15, 30 minute for now, for example. But I want to have the weekly candle on it as well here. So I'm going to click on that. And I'm going to click on the multi-candle overlay. Okay. Then it should pop up. All right. And then I could say, you know what? I want to have only the last 6 or 5 weekly candles, for example, right there. Right. And then you can see it right there. How the weekly candle gets developed right on your chart, right there. Okay. The weekly. You can also just do one candle, so you know how the weekly candle is looking like. Or 2 in comparison to last week. Right? You can also say, you know what? I do that, and I want to also have the daily on it. So I'm going to have the daily as well. And the weekly. Okay. I want to have the daily and the weekly. And I want the last 5 trading days. And I want to have the weekly right here. Okay. So if you want this indicator, I can share it with you guys right now in the chat. If you guys are interested in it, you can use it. Let me share it with you actually. Let me share this with you. Right there. There we go. It's a private indicator. Okay. You can also do the 4 hour. There we go. So you stick on the 4 hour right there. Super nice, actually. Super nice. Don't really use it much, to be honest. But yeah, now I'm looking at it. I'm like, yeah, looks good. Looks solid. Anyways. And we're flipping again. What is the new accession here? Yeah, so what did I do? I opened a long roughly here, came back, stopped on break even. And since then, we're kind of in a range. Now it's pretty obvious what we're looking for. Only trading the extremes. So either the lows, the value area low, right here, the previous daily low, and looking for shorts, or wait for price to get down again, looking for longs, looking for the bounce, and if you break out, yeah, then the larger move can happen. Anything inside here, these are the 2 areas, the 2 zones. So now we have to get into one of those and see if buyers are willing to step in, if sellers get trapped, or if we are unable to push higher and sellers are still in control, because that's what's happening on the larger time frame. Sellers are still clearly, yeah, right now in control, even though we're in higher time frame support. Right? I think so. For now, we're ranging. After all, we are still at the same price level as where we opened on the 8-hour clock. The New York Open was opened up at, let me see. Yeah, we opened the New York at 4570. We're actually holding up really well, but we have not really followed through yet. So we're in a range. Kid and Cat, welcome to the channel. Welcome to the channel. How are you doing? How are you doing, Kitty Cat? I don't know what's going on, but here in Bali, it's absolutely smoking hot right now. Smoking hot. There's a problem here with waste, unfortunately. So it's hot and it's like, there is that smog, you know what I mean? It's not good for your lungs. I can guarantee you, right now, at this moment, Rotterdam, the city in the Netherlands, which is a busy city, I think is slightly cleaner than Bali right now. But we went up in the mountains. On the cliffside, was very beautiful, very nice view. Absolutely loved it. Was chilling pretty much all day, all weekend actually, working, chilling by the pool. So it was a nice weekend. Looking at the Trump news, seeing if they were serious about what we're doing here, right? Not necessarily. Interesting, a lot of Iran. Not really a lot of things. Yeah, not really convincing that positive news here after all on a Friday. Didn't really got confirmed in the weekend though. But yeah. Yeah, the low volume node is the selling point, guys. So listen, if we are stuck in a range this whole session here, like I hope you understand why I'm really interested in selling here, because this is a major zone here on gold right now that resistance has created. First of all, we are in supply, okay? So we have that supply zone actually that we created. We have the drop base drop. We have this overall zone. That's already a 4-hour supply zone, okay? That 4-hour supply zone is a zone, okay? That doesn't mean much because, yeah, okay, it's a zone. It's a higher time frame zone. It's an area of resistance for sure. Now, then, inside of that zone, we have the previous day, okay? And the previous day is what matters right now more because this was the Friday range. Friday opened actually really bearish. So Asian session came out, we dropped a lot. We dropped around 750 points, 750 pips, right? And we recovered during the London session 900 pips or 1,000 pips. But then the New York came and we started to bleed off slowly, pretty much, right? We opened with New York and aggressively, and then we slowly bleeded off. And then we came up and today we sold off. So this is still a lower low right now. This is the higher high and the lower low. We are going to retest the value area, which is this whole distribution of volume that was traded on a Friday. But there is something interesting happening in Friday's range. Something happened. What happened there? Well, let me show you, okay? If you look here at all the volume that was traded on a Friday in the value area, there is something that stands out. And that is an area of very low volume right here in comparison to the rest of the market, okay? In comparison to the rest of the market. And that is this zone right there, all right? And this is where sellers might step in again, okay? And the reason why is because this is what we can truly call inefficiency. It was an inefficient auction around that level. It could be there are a lot of limit orders that were placed there, sell limits that were pressing price down. People were buying into that, but there was no follow through, and buyers stopped buying, and these limit sells got activated and they pushed market down, creating an inefficient auction. If price pulls back into the value area low, which is a level, which is the previous daily very low, we find some serious resistance there. This is roughly speaking around the 4,600. Okay? All right? That's a serious level to work with. This is on gold spot, by the way, so it should be a level that you trade. The 4,600 is a level that I would be looking for, okay? If you see price struggling there, don't hesitate. For me, I will not hesitate to take a short there, okay? I do not hesitate taking a short there. But because we're in higher time frame support as well, and we have no clear direction because we're overall in a 30-minute range right here, okay? It could easily be that we stay within this range and we stay within this fair value of that range, and we find that support, and we just hold this level once again, and we just trade towards it. So I'm not really worried about taking longs either. I'm willing to take longs as well against the shorts here in case we get there. Once we get there though and price struggles, I'm willing to short for sure, because I think there's a much larger chance that the overall larger trend is still bearish. Does that make sense, my G's? Let me know in the chat if this is something that you guys align with or not. Tell me honestly what you think. I'm here to hear your feedback too. I'm not whatever. I'm here to help. But that's something I would be looking for, right? So overall, if this trend is still, we still have a very, very low, and there is still an inefficiency of volume there around the 4,600, okay? That is important. So I'm not scared to take longs now. Let's say if you pull back and trade towards that, I'm willing to do so because we're in higher time frame support, okay? But there is not that actual conviction yet of we're going to reverse trend to the upside here. No, the trend is still bearish. Sellers seems to still be in control. So the only logical scenarios right now would be in this range to look for the right levels, be patient, wait for these levels to be hit, then take action. Number one, price pushes higher and it rejects and we sell off. Could be one, okay? Number two, we pull back, we hold support, and we see a lot of selling, but we fill. A lot of wicks from the bottom, bottom wicks, and we look for longs right there, and we trade towards that. I would still exit there, okay, if I would take longs. If we lose the zone and we retest and we struggle and we lose the value area of this range and we start to really struggle here, we most likely just continue to drive lower. We might take out the previous weekly lows, etc., 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 and we should start dying off deeper and deeper into this higher time frame support or the month. Okay, if we manage to break out of the range and we turn this inefficiency into support, then we might go for the previous daily highs or the Friday highs. Okay, and then the question is, if we break out, can we then start trending up, etc., etc., etc. But that's something not to think about right now. It's way too far away to think about this. Okay, it's clearly still bearish. So I hope this makes sense. These are the kind of scenarios to look for, in my opinion, right now. And I think in both ways, it's just a matter of being patient. I tried to enter before and see if we could already trade towards that. We are still struggling around there, so I don't really mind, you know, getting out of the trade there and just wait for the new trade, new entry, new limit somewhere. But these are the most important levels right there. Okay. All right. In terms of the pips, am I wrong? I don't know. I usually look at the contract. So let me see. How much was this? This was, no, 700 pips and 1,000 pips. Yeah. All right. So guys, what I think is happening right now, I think the market will kind of range a little bit right now. I expected more volume throughout the New York Stock Exchange open. So I don't think it's wise for me to sit here on the stream, wait for the entry to come here. I gave you all the context for the setup right now at the moment here. Focus on these levels, right? And I hope it makes sense to you that what I explained has some logic to it, okay? We look at volume, we look at supply and demand, we look at the rest of the market here. One other reason why I'm not fully sold on buys yet is just the dollar itself, okay? The dollar is in daily demand right now. As you can see right here, we are still holding at that long daily support, okay? Major support on the dollar here, dollar there, dollar there. We are also bouncing from the demand zone right around there, okay? So we're clearly still hovering around that demand. And if we go to then the 4 hour and we remove ourselves from the daily time frame and we go to the 4 hour time frame, they can actually see very, very clearly that on the 4 hour time frame, we have also created demand as well right now. And if the dollar taps into this and it starts bouncing, right, pretty much from the same level, you could also call this higher time frame support. And we go from there. Yeah, gold will struggle. It will struggle. The dollar needs to be weak. The dollar can be strong. Okay? All that makes sense here. Any last news here to think about, to deal with right now at the moment? Let me see. Not this specifically. Not this specifically here. All right, guys? Hopefully we get some better price action. We get some volume. We can execute trades, etc., etc. here. That first trade was just a break-even setup. But the scenarios are very, very clear. And I hope this sets the tone for you right now to understand what to look out for and what to look at right here, guys. And then we're going to come back tomorrow. So I'll keep the session a little bit shorter as well here on a Monday. And I'm going to see you again tomorrow, 8 a.m. Okay? And regardless, we'll make sure that on this channel, you at least get the best possible analysis for now from all the context, the order flow, the volume profile, the supply and demand dynamics, some news, some context of the correlations, the executions. And yeah, the price action needs to show its form. The price action needs to show itself from that moment onwards. All right? I'm going to come back tomorrow here. Looking forward to see you there. And crush it, guys. Really crush it. And start the new month with a positive mindset here. This is a new month for you. If you didn't trade it really well, I think we've done pretty good overall. I put it in perspective. We've done pretty well for the price action, right? We ended the month in green. Then make sure this month you lock in, you reset yourself, you start fresh with a happy smile, and we go from there again. All right? I think that makes a lot of sense. Just do it this way, and life is good. All right, keep it short, guys. Good luck. Mark out your charts. Mark out the 4600 as major resistance. Very important. Low volume mode. Low volume mode. Low volume mode.